That's why we be having holes in the back of our underwear.
I don't get the holes in the back.
Action!
So we're gonna start this episode off by saying this is the 52nd episode. We are 1 year strong in this, and that means that we need more support. Come on now. Inword News has been going at this for about a year, bringing y'all content that y'all don't ask for, which is true. I mean, if y'all were more interactive, I would report on whatever Drake puts on the script, which would be what y'all wanted me to report on. Shout out to Q. I still ain't shit for being the stand-in host. Yeah, the stand-in host for a fucking year, because none of you want to volunteer to do this. Thank y'all. We need a real host though, so if any lady wants to apply to take his job, contact the Ignorant Noodle, please. The trial of Derek Chauvin started last week, and it's been a complete and total shit show. The defense lawyer for Chauvin has been making a mockery of the trial, and all the witnesses are openly getting smart with him because of his questioning. I actually saw a little clip of that where he was questioning a guy, asking what he said, and the guy, it was in reference to, I think, one of the police officers putting his hands on him. He told him like he pretty much beat his ass, and the way the lawyer was questioning him, I would have responded the same way. Like, you heard what I said on, like, I don't understand that. Like, if you heard exactly what you're questioning me about on audio, and I already took the oath and said, yes, I said it, don't ask me no dumbass question. Please. This is why I think like a lot of defense lawyers are like, I can see it from both sides. Because number one, you have to do your job. No matter how fucked up your job is, that is your job. But on the other hand, like, there is no morality. And it's crazy to think that a lawyer could volunteer to defend Derek Chauvin after seeing him kneel on a man's neck for 9 minutes and some change, because it went from 8 minutes to 9 minutes recently, didn't it?
I think so. I think they rounded up because
it was pretty much, it was excessive, and just for a lawyer to be able to say, I want to defend that guy. So every question seems to be an attack on the witnesses, from angry bystanders to paramedics on the scene. Nobody's getting respected as the witnesses are being seen to be angry, irrational, and distracting, and the paramedics are being called nervous and lacking in memory due to a high-stress environment. Why does there need to be a trial for something that millions and millions and millions of people saw? I don't understand it. I'm not gonna try to understand it. That's just the dumbest shit to me. Because one of two things is gonna happen. He gets off. Y'all thought the riots last summer were bad. And I'm not inciting no riots, so don't try to come back and get me on this shit. But if y'all thought that shit was bad, number two, he goes to prison, and then a couple months later, a similar situation happens because there's no accountability being taken on the part of the people who actively participate in this. Like, you gotta make an example out of somebody. That's all I'm gonna say. You can interpret that exactly how you want to interpret. President Biden has introduced a new bill to increase the infrastructure budget by $1.5 trillion. It's supposed to include trains, buildings, roads, and other infrastructures of that sort. Of course, everyone is arguing against it. I don't really keep up with politics too much. I know also that he's supposed to be executing his authority of executive order to forgive $50,000 worth of student loan debt. We'll see how that goes, because just because he forgives it doesn't mean it's not gonna get paid back. Like, they gonna get their money back. Like, all this money that they've been giving out in the last year and some change, they gonna get that back. It's not happening this tax time, and it's probably not, it might not even happen next tax time. But they gonna get their money back. So be happy that you got stimulated. If you haven't got stimulated yet, it's on the way. But just know that money gonna have to get paid back somehow, some way. Dre cannot remember the numbers, but he knows that Biden approved some extra funding to come to Georgia for improvement in medical facilities. Specifically in our hometown of Columbus, Georgia, we need it. A big chunk of it is coming specifically to Columbus to supposedly assist in getting care for veterans, disabled, homeless, and poor folks. The Space Jam 2 trailer was released, and it seems to have swayed the opinions of many. A few more people seem to be excited to see the movie. Previous speculations about the movie being about LeBron's IG followers is wrong as hell. Thank God, because if that was the real storyline, I wouldn't have watched it. The plot in this is he's trying to win his son back. Um, we'll see. The movie looked alright from the trailer I saw, so I'll give it a shot. So Nike is suing Lil Nas X over the Satan-themed shoes that he came out with, and Nike released a statement saying that even though it's like a Nike shoe, they didn't have any part of the production or anything to do with the shoe. But there are some people boycotting Nike because they believe that Nike is responsible for the shoe. Nike said, fuck what y'all talking about, this is his fuckery, not us. Lil Nas X doesn't care and took the shit to Twitter because he can't take it seriously. You can't be upset with a Nicki Minaj fan.
Stan.
A little update on DMX for those of y'all who don't know. DMX overdosed on, was it coke or was it crack?
They never specified. They just said OD'd.
Okay. But he has been taking off of life support and is breathing on his own. But he's still not in a stable condition. Keep DMX in your thoughts and prayers, especially on this Easter Sunday.
What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite random relative, Uncle Fred, and we are back with another segment of Inword Sports. As you can see, I've lost my voice, man, yelling at these kids at youth football, man. But, hey, I'm serious, man. I don't play about jumping off sides, man. I don't play about my defense. Defense wins championships, man, like for real. And speaking of which, man, we got a lot of football to talk about, y'all, so let's go. I knew it. I should have known better. I don't even know why I do this to myself. Man, listen. I know Southern may not have what it takes to beat Alcorn. Maybe not yet. But, man, they always figure out the SWAC, man. This is the team that has always played Alcorn in the SWAC championships. It always comes down to the Bayou City Classic. We always encounter that game is going to let us know who we're playing. But, listen, man, this Southern team right now is dangerous. And let me tell you why. Because they figured out their offense. They figured out if they run the football, get behind these running backs. Let them get behind their pass. Let them run downhill. Let Ladarius Skelton be that dual threat option that they have. And then when they want to open up the passing game, they go to John Lampley. And I must say, Lampley is the one that I'm afraid of. Now, the run game is something I've always been afraid of with Southern. And, you know, I don't know why in past SWAC championships, they steer away from running the football. But I got championships on my finger, so I'm not complaining about none of that. But I will say this. This Southern team is dangerous. And now we got to talk about Southern being a contender for the SWAC title, especially representing the West, because I didn't like what I seen against with UAPB and Valley. And actually, let's go ahead and talk about that. Before I dive into UAPB, I just want to say this to Valley. I got to tip my hat to y'all, man. Y'all went out there and y'all played y'all hearts out. Number 9 at receiver. Man, listen, you played great all the way up until that final drop, bro. It is what it is. You played a great game. I still believe Valley can be one of the most dangerous teams in the SWAC if they move their games to night games. Stop playing in the middle of the day. I know it was one thing to play in the middle of the heat, but nah, man, play it. People don't like driving to the Valley at night. People don't like leaving the Valley at night. So, listen, I think it would be great, a better team for them to start playing the night games. UAPB, it took y'all a punt return to beat Valley. Your game last week was counted as a no contest, and by the grace of God, he had his the act of God, and we had inclement weather, and you guys are still undefeated because Alabama State was ready to hand you guys your first loss of the season. So as much as I wanted to crown you guys and say, you know what, let's go ahead and solidify that UAPB is a front runner, I gotta draw back, man. I gotta draw back because what I saw with Southern was very impressive. Very impressive. The way those guys were able to run the football, I don't know, man. I don't believe that you guys' special team will be able to take you over the top. But, hey, make me a believer, man. Make me a believer. South Carolina State got a solid win over Alabama State, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was not impressed considering I'm a SWAC quarterbacks kind of guy. So I like to see the guys kind of throw it around the yard, be athletic, do something like that. But, man, what you get with South Carolina State is real downhill. Go out there and just pound the football. But it's solid football. It wins games, as you can see. Now, here's where I have the dilemma. The MEAC is accepting their automatic qualifier into the FCS playoff for spring football. Now, that you would think that's a good thing, but consider it's only 3 teams representing the MEAC this year: South Carolina State, Howard, and Delaware State. Right now, South Carolina State and Delaware State are running the conference. So the chance Delaware State, it represents the MEAC or has to go and play, whoever in the first round. I don't like that outlook. I don't like the way South Carolina State would look going out and playing in the first round in the playoff, considering even in this game, they only threw for 91 yards with 2 quarterbacks. So, shout out to the MEAC, shout out to HBCU football. But, man, if we're going to be on the stage, show up. Just show up. That's all I'm asking. Because, the MEAC football has not been impressive. This was an impressive win. I got to give them that. Impressive win against Bama State. Got to give you that. Great opponent. But, just represent us well in the FCS playoff. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. Represent us well. And this is going to conclude another segment of Inword Sports. I am your host, Uncle Fred. Keep it locked, man. Can't wait to see you guys on Wednesday. Tap in for the most and the latest on HBCU athletics. Swag in the morning on Clubhouse 212 Sports Talk. All right, man. Holla.
Now to the yard hiring segment. Kenise Hair is a hairstylist in the Columbus and Phoenix City area. She does hair and wigs. Her hair even continues on into creating her own conditioner and hair growth oil. Go get you some of that. You don't have to be bald-headed and do bald-headed hoe shit. I gotta start reading the scripts before I start reading on camera. Shout out to Smurf for giving us this list of businesses. So Society Row is a black-owned branding and social media branding company. They help people build their brands and online presence. Whether it's a professional page or you just want to be the next influencer, Society Row will get you where you need to be. Dre also said it took everything in him not to make Death Row Records joke the whole time he was writing this. Good. Glad you exercised some self-control. Planet by Jada is a black-owned vegan skincare line, and Smurf's words, they're dope as fuck. I've ordered some products, my skin is soft as fuck and glowing. We trust Smurf, so to go get her products and have you some soft, glowing skin. That Love Thing podcast is a black story writer from the UK. He writes amazing romance and comedy stories, of which Ed Smurf Brown Voices and Miss Jazzy Fizzle have had the pleasure to perform in. You can check him out on his shows for free on Spotify. Soul Food Vegan is a black-owned vegan restaurant in Houston. They have vegan versions of all food that your grandma used to make. They even have vegan ribs, which is made from jackfruit. What is jackfruit?
It's a very popular dish in the vegan world.
Kayla is a voice actor. Her website contains her demo, so if you need any commercial or narration voice overwork done, hit her up. Anything else to add on this fine Easter Sunday?
Happy Easter. Shout out to 1 year of the Ignorant Noodle. Oh, wait, no, Inward News. We're 3 years in for the Ignorant Noodle. Shit, that's it. We out.
Final note. Somebody please come replace me. Oh.
Bye.